Last week, the tech world had what people are calling a moon landing moment. Perplexity launched something called Computer, 19 different AI models working together to actually do work, not just talk about it. This has the press and other people pretty breathless. The demos are incredible. But as somebody who spent 16 years building data architecture for financial tech companies, the government, I'm going to talk about things that I'm seeing the headlines are certainly skipping over. The technology is 100% real, but is your organization ready to adopt? So it's probably nowhere near ready for today, but computer and some of the other agentic softwares that are dropping, we're going to talk about how this is starting to evolve into the AI agent revolution and what that means as this massive wall hits reality. And I'll have 4 questions that you need to ask yourself before you spend a dime on any of this stuff. So before we go any further, let's try to kill some of the jargon here. What is agentic AI actually? Well, just think of it as the standard AI assistant like ChatGPT or basic Gemini as a calculator. You give it a prompt and it gives you an answer. You are basically the project manager for every single step. Okay. An AI agent is like a digital worker. You give it a goal and something like research this merger, find these legal risks, or build me a summary website. And from there, it just goes, right? It breaks the goal into steps. It delegates tasks to other models and works for hours, if not days, without you touching it. So here is where the hype hits the floor. Deloitte just released their 2026 State of AI report. There's a lot in it that could be classified as wild. 74% of companies plan to deploy these agents within 2 years, but only 21% actually have what you would call a mature model for governing them. The gap is not just a tech hurdle here, it's a liability nightmare. We're talking about 73% of leaders being worried about data privacy, but only a fraction of them having the infrastructure to actually stop a leak. We've seen this movie before with cloud and SaaS in general, but this time the actor is making decisions on its own. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please make sure you tap that like button for the video, help me grow the channel. As I kind of talk about these articles more and more in the videos over time, I'm trying to get better at the long form content. If you've already joined me on TikTok, I have a much better process of being able to kind of get these thoughts out. So, my thoughts overall about computer is that from the true business adoption perspective, we are in a weird phase where artificial intelligence agents are showing a viable level of productivity, if not profitability, over some cases, like actual use cases that seem pretty cool. Businesses that I work with, even today, are super underdeveloped when it comes to do they have the talent to understand what it means to allow an AI agent to be on the infrastructure? And then if they do have the talent there, they're now dealing with making sure policies understand how these things will interact with resources, how much leverage and access these particular agents need, where do they stem from? Are they API key driven or are they workspace driven? But it talks about governance for AI agents. So governance for AI agents is has to fall into the same group for the rest of your data policies or your AI strategy or your data strategy if you have one. And so that means that you probably have a process for those things to be approved by committees and governed by subject matter experts in different groups. So adoption processes can be slow. They can be definitely slow. And depending on what you're trying to actually see an agent do, I mean, this can turn into a nightmare of time versus proof of return on investment, right? So I've kind of also been talking about that. But if you're in a regulated space, like I have worked in several instances, fintech, healthcare, government, this is where I think it starts to get personal, right? I've been in the same rooms The vendor shows a demo where an agent processes a claim in 3 seconds, right? I've seen that from a couple of big names, Salesforce, but it looks like magic in general. But nobody generally asks outside of me or my group. Nobody usually asks the questions that I have here, which is who is accountable when an AI agent makes a $50,000 error? Is it the vendor? Is it the development team who gave us the agent? Your current risk frameworks probably weren't built for a software agent that evolves its behavior every time the underlying model gets an update. In my experience, retrofitting governance after compliance audit really is generally going to go south. It's 10 times more expensive than doing it from day one. And you're going to get a frustrated and low morale team because of these particular effects on adopting a new tool. That's how it goes with adopting a new tool in a business, no matter who you are. Let's talk about the vendors, as I said, right? So take Perplexity Computer. It's $200 a month and it uses Claude, Gemini, and several other foundational models. In my opinion, it's brilliant tech. From the governance standpoint, your data is now flowing through a daisy chain of 3 or 4 different companies, each with their own retention policies and jurisdictions if you're using the workspaces, right? So, from a business's point of view, the vendor's job is to get you to hit buy. Your job as a business is to make decisions that are defensible to the board of directors. A cool demo is not a strategy, right? So, how are you planning to actually get ready? Is what I would ask. Don't start with massive transformations, as I've told most people in change management and work. Start with these 4 questions for any pilot program, right? Data access first. Who certifies or certified that this agent is allowed to touch this specific data? Then there should be decision boundaries. What specific decision can it make without a human clicking? Then there's the audit trail. If this agent makes a mistake, can you reconstruct every step of its logic for a regulator? Accountability. Who owns the outcome when the agent is wrong? If you cannot answer these, you are not ready for production. The agent revolution is very real, and the productivity gains are going to be massive for the people who do get this right. But moving fast and breaking things doesn't work when the thing you're breaking is your customer's trust or a federal regulation. So you got to move thoughtfully and build the guardrails first. My name is Ernest Provo. I write about the realities of artificial intelligence that vendors don't want to talk about. If you find my takes helpful, please go check out the Substack link in the bio as well. I am looking forward to hearing about your thoughts in the comments as well. Stay tuned for the next video that I'm going to talk about the MWC, or the Mobile World Conference. Just talk about the robot that I think has been pretty impressive from a personal point of view. But, business application is my thing. And so we'll talk about why that's not really a useful metric for reality. So until next time.